Hello guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're new. My name's Amy and I play games, basically. Except, today, I'm not playing a game. No, today I'm doing my first ever review. And I thought it's Halloween, and everybody loves Hocus Pocus, apart from my niece, but she's weird. Anyway, I absolutely love the film. I'm always really nostalgic about it, you know? And I just want to delve into whether it's actually good, or if we've just put it on a pedestal because it reminds us of our childhood. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of Hocus Pocus. I watch it every Halloween. I really enjoy it. But it's just, is it good because it's good, or is it good because it's nostalgic? You know, like when it first came out, it didn't actually do well in the box office. And years later, finally, it became this big film that everybody loved. And I mean, you have to question, what does that say about the film? You know? So the film starts with three sisters, they're witches, which that is a pivotal piece of information for you guys. So the Sanderson sisters include Winifred, Mary, and Sarah. So, you know, they're burnt alive, I think, or they're hung. I cannot remember, I'm just going off of memory here, but one of the two. Because that's what they did to people they thought were witches back then. Now, I'm not going to get into the historical side of it because, spoiler, there weren't really any witches back then. It was just people burning women because women did something that they weren't happy about, and history loves to shit on women. Anyway, so these actually were witches, the Sanderson sisters. They did have magical powers, and, you know, that's what happened. So they need to come back on Halloween night so they can come back permanently. And the only way for that to happen is for a virgin to light the candle. So this is where Max comes in. Now Max is a teen boy and he's going through all his typical things of hating his family. You know, typical life stage. You go from loving them to hating them. And sometimes if you're lucky you go back to loving them, but sometimes you don't. Anyway, he hates having to deal with his little sister. I don't think he hates her. He's just too cool to have to take her trick-or-treating. You know, it's the typical trope. Bad brother, sibling in danger, learns to be a good sibling at the end because he realised how he nearly lost his sibling. It's typical trope. It's good, it works, does the job. So he, being very, very smart, he goes to the Sanderson house, I think on a school trip or some shit. No, not on a school trip, that is a complete lie. Anyway, he goes to the Sanderson sisters' house, which is like a museum now, and he lights the candle. Yes, oh, what a choice he's made. So the Sanderson sisters come back, and everyone is happy, everything's happy, the world is great, they're really happy. They're so grateful to Max that they just invite him in. That's a joke. Nope, that does not happen. So they need to basically kill a child to absorb their life force or some shit, so that they can come back permanently. So yeah. So they're trying to get a kid, they go after his little sister, and he's not happy about that, so they're just trying to survive. And, you know, it's a basic storyline, just trying to avoid the witches, trying to get rid of the witches. It's good, it does the job, you know? But sprinkled throughout are some of the best, some of the funniest scenes that still make me laugh to this day. You know? You have, like, the zombie guy who is Winifred's ex-lover who cheated on her with Sarah, and so she killed him and cursed him, essentially. And so there's a scene, now this scene, when I say it is a work of art, I'm not exaggerating. They are all trying to warn their parents, the witches are back, the witches are back, you know, trying to alert them. Winifred being a quick thinker, being smart, being absolutely brilliant, she's like, thank you for the introduction, Max. She has suddenly grasped the concept of they're celebrating Halloween despite I don't think Halloween really existed back then. Or if it did, it certainly wasn't what it's like today. It would have been like All Hallows Eve. But she's a quick learner and she knows, hang on, I can put a show on. I can sort of put a spell on these women. So, and men, there's men there. So she tricks them. She doesn't trick them. She performs a song, I put a spell on you, and I'm going to include it here. I'm going to be quiet.
Hello, I must tell you. Now
dancing till they die. So Max and his little sister, I've forgotten her name, I should really remember it. Oh, and another girl from his new school. I think they end up being a couple by the end of it, because there always has to be a love interest in every film, especially from, like, back then. You know, otherwise how are people going to know it's a proper good film? So anyway, yep, they're on their own now, and they've got to stop the witches. That's it. But then, another scene. There's so many good scenes that just make me laugh. Okay. The Sanderson sisters meet the devil. They meet the devil, but he's not really the devil. He's just a old guy in a costume, and it's brilliant. It's so funny. Sarah Sanderson, she's like the more promiscuous of the sisters, and she's flirty, and she flirts with him, and it's fine. It's funny. It's comedic, and yeah, love it. Love the scene. Brilliant. Very funny. Recommend watching it. And when you think that the film can't get any less serious, it can't get any funnier, there can't be any more brilliant moments that just make life worth living momentarily, you have Sarah Sanderson, Sarah Jessica Parker, on a broomstick and singing, and she's singing "Come Little Children." She's trying to lure the children to their house so obviously she can kill them. Now, yeah, that's not cool, murdering children. I'm pretty much against that. So, I think we can all say that. I'm 20 now. I remember watching this film when I was 7, and back then I was clueless. I was clueless about the way of the world, how it worked. I was clueless about myself, you know. I didn't know nothing. All I knew is I really liked Doctor Who, and I liked playing with Lego, you know. So, it was a surprise to me when I just thought, this woman is the best. I love this woman. And I didn't know then, but I know now. It's because she was my gay awakening without knowing I was gay. But absolutely fell in love with her. And 20 now, it's still there. The crush is still there. I'm still happy when I see her. So, yeah, it's brilliant. It just has so many fun moments. So, skipping some more scenes that I can't really go into detail off the top of my head, and seeing as I can't really rewatch it at the moment because my internet's being a real dickhead, yeah, they save the day, and the Sanderson sisters are banished. They're basically dead again, but spoilers, not really, because they come back in Hocus Pocus 2. So, yeah. I've watched that film as well, by the way. I enjoyed it, but I'm quite easily entertained, so that's not speaking about the quality of the actual film. And it has moments where you're like, this is a bit rubbish, but, you know. So, yeah. Let's talk about it a bit more. Now I've gone over some of my favourite scenes and the main premise of the film. When it came out, it didn't do too well, and I can't help but think this is because of the time of year it was released. It was released in July. It was actually released July... Hang on a second. It was released July 16th, 1993. And not many Halloween films come out in July. I mean, nowadays we often get, like, for instance, Scream. Scream films come out at, like, the start of the year on, like, Paramount and stuff like that. And I watch them. I love Scream. So I watch them. I enjoy them. It's still entertaining. And I think it's different with horror films, though. I think horror films can come out any time of year, because no matter what time it is, some weirdo with a mask going around stabbing people is always going to be scary. You know, that's not just going to suddenly stop being a fear because Halloween's over. Whereas witches, we don't really bother with throughout the year. They're a Halloween thing. And so I think it was done dirty by the release. Definitely. And I don't think the storyline is actually that interesting. It's nothing new. It wasn't even new back in 1993. But it was basic. It was basic enough. It was entertaining. And I do think an October release would have maybe made the film do better. You know, but on the same side, I also think that if the film was released today, brand new, no, it being a brand new film, I just don't think it would have become this cult classic. And I think we remember it because it's old and it's funny. I think it is definitely the nostalgia that makes this film great. And that's okay. I don't want to be someone who pisses all over our childhood. Nostalgia is a great thing. We all know that when you get to an adult, a lot of the joy from life is gone. You know? You have to work, you have to pay bills, you have to struggle through more difficult emotions that maybe you had when you were a child, but now you fully understand them and you're the one who has to sort them out. So adulthood is not easy. And it's a lot easier to look back at these old films and feel a certain way because when we were watching them, we felt completely different. We were innocent back then. And it takes us back to the time of bliss. We're recalling our childhood and we lean heavily on these films because they become part of that. And that's okay, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to still watch Hocus Pocus tonight. This hasn't changed the way I feel about it just because I've acknowledged that it's not actually that great of a film. Nostalgia's fine. Nostalgia's perfectly fine. And at the end of the day, everyone has their own opinions about films. You may completely disagree with what I'm saying. You may think, actually, it was shit, none of it's good. Or you may think, actually, it's a fucking work of art, and you are a twat. That's fine. I agree with the twat part. You know? So yeah, it's just we've got to form our own opinions, our own conclusions in life, and my conclusion is it's not that great. But it is. It's a mixed bag. Nostalgia, definitely. It leans more heavily on nostalgia to make it interesting. Hell, why do you think they did a sequel? Because people were so nostalgic about it that they loved it. You know? And that's completely fine. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me drone on. And yep, this is all fair use because I'm talking over it, so that's something. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and thumbs up if you did. If you didn't, I apologise. And hopefully the next video will be more to your taste. I haven't given up on gaming. Please don't think that for a second. I still love gaming. I just also want to do reviews because whenever I watch a film, I love to talk over it. Not with other people, of course. I'm not a complete arsehole. But, I am a judgmental arsehole, though. And so I'm always judging films and I'm always thinking more heavily about them, about, was it actually good or do I just remember it? I rewatched Curious George the other week with my niece, which absolutely loved as a child. I couldn't even bear 5 minutes as an adult, and that's because we change. And I just think it's very interesting. But anyway, yep, please like, subscribe, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and yeah, that's me out. Much love.